Morning, America. We're in the office. Obviously, I'm at home in the office. Why am I in the office and not driving on my way to Florida? Remember, I was on the way to Florida. Got problems, motor problems. On the way down, I'll get into that in a little bit here. The truck's at the shop right now, and I know what the problem is. I don't know what the fix is because the mechanic hasn't had a chance to tear it apart and decide what to do. So I'll get to that in a minute. One of the things is I haven't put a video out in a few days. Remember, I've been putting a video out every day for, last week and a half or so. Since I left Boston, going out to Portland, and from Portland up and down and around and back down to Florida. I was going to do about 2 or 3 weeks of this daily, or sometimes twice a day videos, really pumping the videos out to show you more of the things that happen and go on in my life. Because I skip a lot of stuff. I might do a couple videos on one load, but because I do 3 videos in 2 days. But it's a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday video. In those 2 days, it takes up the whole week worth of video space, or releases, I mean. What do I do the other 5 days of the week? You don't see any of that stuff. I skip over a lot of stuff. I might haul a load, you'll see these videos, and then not see the next 3 loads that I haul. So you're thinking, wait a minute, last I saw you were in Tennessee, and now you're in Denver? How did you get to Denver? Well, there was this load, this. So I skip a lot of stuff. So I thought, well, I'll change the videos up a little bit, get rid of the long editing time. We got into all this, remember? All the long editing time, putting the music together and all that. And I'll just put more like a daily vlog and do more of the business end of trucking, money-wise and things like that. So I changed the video styles around a little bit, and people seem to like it. Now, I got to touch on this. I might get a video that gets 3,000 or 4,000 views, okay? And I get 40 comments. So the comments is a very small part of the overall view. So everybody seems to like those videos. Well, no, 40 people like those videos. I have no idea what the other 3,000 people think, okay? So that's the only thing I can go by. And it seems people do like them, there's not a lot of negative comments. But I did get a real negative comment, and I don't want to harp on this, but it was just one that kind of, a lot of times I'll get a negative comment on here, and it's just, I brush it off. It's not, but for some reason this one hit me. I don't know why. MJ Dubs sent a message in a few days ago, 4 days ago, says, he said, sorry man, your videos are bottom of the barrel lately. Well, okay. I feel like you're just mailing it in for the AdSense paycheck, the YouTube money. It's sad. I thought you were different, but I've been wrong before. Oh well. So anyway, he sends that message in, and then Klaus, he responds back. Some of us told, whatever. He responded and kind of, backed me up on it. And then J-Dubs, it was back and forth conversation between several people, okay? And I don't know why, it was one of the few that actually bugged me. I don't know why, because I don't do YouTube for money. Yes, I do YouTube for money, but it's not my primary. I make money in trucking. The YouTube is for fun, and since I'm putting the work into it, yeah, sure, I'd like to get a little bit of money out of it, okay? I'm not making a living off of it. Dubs is actually right that, yeah, I'm making more money because there's more videos coming out. That means there's more commercials that you guys watch. Instead of watching 3 commercials a week, you're watching a commercial every day, sometimes twice a day. You'd think that would double or even more, the AdSense revenue. It doesn't, okay? I will probably see about a $200 a month increase in YouTube revenue. So it's not like I'm doing this to cha-ching, really cash in. So, but anyway, for some reason that one bugged me. And so I didn't make a video the next day. And I didn't make a video the next day. And about that time is when I was learning that I was having trouble with the motor, and I was preoccupied with that too. And it just, for some reason, I just wasn't in the mood to make a video there for a couple days. So here it is, it's Friday morning. what time is it? It's 11:30 Friday morning. I'm going to put this video up as soon as I edit it. It's up. Okay, so it'll be coming out at noon here probably. So, with that said, that's why I haven't had a couple videos here in the last few days. I've just not been in the mood to do it for some reason, you know, for that. I don't know, this one bugged me for some reason. I don't know why. Usually I just, you know, whatever. You know, it's just that one person. But when they accused me of doing these videos because I'm trying to get rich, if you only knew, Mr. Dubs, I assume it's a Mr. MJ Dubs. I assume you're a man because the way you phrase things, I'm guessing it's a man. Anyway, yeah, I'm not doing it for money. I thought it'd be a different kind of series, and people might enjoy it, and it'd give me a break from the editing process for a little while. All right, I was only going to do it for a short time, and then go back to the normal videos, the original type videos. So anyway, that's why I haven't put a video out. Now, onto the truck. I've got an exhaust leak. Last week when I stopped and talked to Tipsy Marlin up there in Montana, from there I went on across over through Spokane, and as I'm coming out of Spokane, west of town out there, I'm driving along and I hear this ting, clink, clink, ting, clink, clink. I'm like, the heck was that noise? It sounded like from under the hood. Have you ever been working on your car and dropped a socket down through the engine bay, and it ding, 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 it hits all these metal parts going down through, and I don't know, for some reason the socket never falls all the way through to the ground. It hooks onto something. Anyway, that's what it sounded like. I'm cruising down the highway 60 mile an hour, and I hear ting, ting, clink, clink. I'm like, that ain't right, you know. So I pulled over next rest area, or next off ramp, and I opened the hood and looked around, seeing what might be wrong. Couldn't find anything. I looked and looked. Maybe it was just road debris. Maybe it was a rock kicked up and went through and hit some things, and you know, I don't know. Oh, I closed the hood and went on down the road. Well, later that day, I'm driving along and going down a little bit of a hill, and I flipped the Jake on, and I could hear this little ticking noise, you know. I'm like, what in the heck's that noise? That ain't good. You know, whenever you hear an odd noise, it means money. That ain't right, and we're gonna have to fix it. Money, money, money. So, couldn't figure out what it was. And I'm thinking it's 1.6 million miles on this motor. And I'm thinking, well, finally something internal broke. A lifter's knocking, or a valve is clicking, or an injector's tapping. Something's going wrong inside. All right, well, just keep driving it. Can't figure out what it is. Keep driving it until it really breaks, and then we'll look into it. Right? I went on down into Oregon and all that, made my deliveries and the truck stop videos and all this stuff. They dispatched me on the Florida load, so I leave and I'm heading back. I'm coming up the Columbia River Gorge, and I'm hearing this tick, 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 but I don't know what it is. I don't make any comment on the videos or anything. I don't tell you guys about it yet because I don't know what it is. I got over to Idaho on Mother's Day, Sunday, Mother's Day. I knew what it was by then, but I didn't mention it because I was going to make it for another video. Saturday night when I pulled in there and went to bed, I opened the hood up and started looking around with a flashlight, looking up in cricks and crannies, and I by that time the noise had changed. It wasn't really a ticking sound, it was more of an exhaust leak sound, like a gasket blew out. Be right back with you. Remember, exhaust leak. Go. Okay, we're back. Now, where were we? Exhaust leak. Okay. That was a friend of mine calling, and hadn't talked to him in a while, so I figured I better answer it. So anyway, I look around there, and the sound had changed from a tick, tick, tick to more of an exhaust leak sound. Okay, and so I was up there looking around, knowing that you know, with that information, I started looking around the head area, the manifold, and I see a little bit of black soot in that area. So, okay, there's an exhaust leak right there. Now, why is it leaking? You know what happened? And right behind the turbo, one of the turbos, there's two turbos. Once I look up underneath there, I see this spot where one of these bolts. Now, I'm gonna link in the bottom of this video in the comments. There's a video that you can go watch, and you get an idea of what has happened to my truck, okay? Here's the block, and then above it's the head, and then off to the side there's the manifold for the turbo and everything. The manifold's bolted to the side, and they got bolts that go in. Well, one of those bolts broke off, okay? When one of those, it's not a bolt, it's a stud, and then you put a nut on the outside. Well, the stud is seated into the block. Well, anyway, that stud, they get, with expansion and contraction, they end up snapping over time. So anyway, I think one of those bolts has broken off. It might have backed off and loosened and fell out that way, but more than likely it broke off and fell out, fell down. Well, if that's the case, they got to take the manifold off, pull that off, put a new gasket in, because what happens is that when that bolt released, the gasket started leaking and it slowly burnt out. And that's why it sounded like a tick at first, and now as that hole gets bigger, the gasket is burned away, it gets bigger and bigger. Now it's changed the tune and it sounds more like an exhaust leak than a tick. Anyway, they're going to take all those, there's 6 cylinders, and there's, I think, 2 bolts per cylinder, so there's 12 bolts. Well, they take that one out, more than likely they're going to have to, drill it out and tap it and everything. And the mechanic, when I turned it in on Tuesday afternoon, he said, yeah, the real struggle is taking the other 11 off. How many of those are going to twist off? So I'm looking at, in a perfect world, they unbolt everything. Everything comes off smooth, and I got something in my eye. Everything comes off smooth. They just put a new gasket on there, bolt everything back up, and I'm out of there for a few, couple $1,000 maybe. Okay, with all the labor and all that involved. We're hoping. Worst case scenario, as they take those bolts off, they strip off or they snap or whatever, and they got to replace 5 or 6 of them. And he says there's a certain point where there's so much labor involved with drilling all the other, the bolts out, or when you're drilling them out and you mess up and hit the threads or whatever, and now you've ruined the head. Now you got to take the head off and go change it for a remanufactured head and stick that on there. 1.6 million miles, you don't just take a head off and put a new head on. Once that head's off, you're already so deep into the engine. Change your jugs, your piston and piston liners, and this is what they call a wet sleeve engine, okay? If you're interested in that, do a Google search, wet sleeve diesel engines. There'll be a video that explains that. But anyway, they'll take all those, what we call the jugs, the piston and the piston liner and it's a pack, okay? And they'll take the packs out, put new packs in. If you're that far into it, you might as well just overhaul the whole stinking engine. So it's either going to be a couple $1,000 fix, exhaust manifold fix, or it's going to be a $25,000 or $28,000 engine overhaul. Have a good day, folks. Ciao.